So
this times in with the conditionality that Jules was talking about.
Yes.
If you want us to mitigate, you've got to give us a hand.
Yes, still, but we did give an end, and as I said, it didn't work. So we are still working bilateral, multilateral with countries to work with it. And we have participated as a country. We elaborate ourselves the strategy. We pay for it. We are still working with it. It's a great participation of Ecuador, and we are not receiving that money. And I should mention also that in this area are 2 tribes of uncontacted people. There is also, as it was mentioned here, the direct relation of human rights involved there too, because there's these 2 tribes of uncontacted indigenous people. Thank you.
Did you have your hand in there? We're running out of time, but a quick one. Yeah, great.
Yeah, just coming back to one central issue in the negotiations. Excuse me, I'm Jörg Haas with the European Climate Foundation. A central issue in the negotiations is obviously who will contribute to the funding of developing countries' action. And so far, the developing countries very clear, holding the line. We have no obligation to contribute to funding. G77, led by Philippines, clearly that's bottom line, red line, no way going beyond that. On the other hand, there's a proposal on the table made by Mexico that a green fund, a global green fund, should be created, which is filled with a formula of contributions that reflect to some time ability to pay and responsibility for the problem. And I've seen the gentleman from the Islamic Development Bank, in fact, they are already contributing to fund some urgent action. So is there I would say if developing countries would agree to contribute, at least the richer ones, to that funding problem, I think this could probably unleash substantial reaction in the developed world.
Thank you. Could I ask you to pass the mic forward, because this is probably our last question of the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Mary Chinrehese from Ghana. 1 minute. It's just a plea. It's a plea that Copenhagen not be treated as just another conference. I think the issues are clear. We sink or swim together. And that's why I buy into the idea of removing the traditional east, north, south, rich, poor, developed, developing country approach to what is done. We are in it together, and this is why it's important to carry the populations along with us. It's a question of packaging the conference agenda in a manner that after the conference, commitments can actually be pushed through, and that we will move for once from rhetoric to action. That commitments will really be honored, and this conference is not going to be just a passing show. I really have to count on everybody to find a way of packaging the conference, the negotiation process, the realistic outcome in a manner that we really will have action. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Loren, do you want a final quick comment? You were asking too, or were you very final?
No, I'm glad that earlier the concept of low carbon growth was operationalized in very simple day-to-day terms, because at the end of the day, low carbon lifestyle would actually mean choices we have to make every day. What kind of food we eat, we should eat lower on the food chain. And second, what kind of transport we take. Should we encourage mass transport more? What kind of energy must power it? The reason why we must promote renewable alternative sorts of energy. And also, perhaps what we are all talking about here really is a development that is more sustainable, equitable, and adaptable. And we must rethink the kind of development that we've been taking since the age of industrialization. Because while we measure our development in terms of GNP, GDP, we have not really inputted the mines that have been extracted from the ground, or the logs that have caused the denudation of our forests, or the quality of the air that we breathe. It has not been inputted in the gain and loss equation. accountants have debit and credit. Very clearly, we must see the gain and loss equation in the whole scheme of things. Economists and political leaders have always say we need X economic growth statistics and numbers, but have we quantified the quality of life that we have lived and how much vulnerable women, children, communities and populations have actually emerged from the wrong kind of development that we have been espousing? So my urge to this body is to rethink development, and perhaps we must have a more cautious kind of development. We must encourage more resilient kind of investments, and in a way, maybe to put it to an extreme, adopt the Bhutanese gross national happiness of good governance, sustainable and equitable socio-economic development, protection of ecosystems, and cultural resilience. Because at the end of the day, that is what really matters, the quality of life and our happiness.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for such a rousing end to our session. Can I ask you all to join me in applauding our panelists for a great session?